Whoa, what just showed up in the mail? This is the Power Rangers board game that came from Renegade Game Studios. Hello, Pokemon trainers, Ranger Nation, and board game enthusiasts. Professor Chime here. This is a lot of stuff. So let's start out with one of the monsters of the box. This comes in levels. A ton of putties and the double-headed and three-armed putties. It's very detailed. This is a very, very big figure. The cards actually are individual cards for individual Rangers. So you'll have a special, few cards for, Red Ranger, you have a few cards for Pink, and so on and so on. On top of the normal dice, we also got the Ranger dice set. The next thing to open up is the Power Rangers Shattered Grid expansion here. Oh yeah. Alright, so let's take a look at Lord Draken. Oh, this detail. He's actually a little heavier than any of the others that I just picked up. These are the Mastodon Troopers. We got the Ranger Slayer. She is always awesome. And then, last but not least, is the Black Dragon. Alright, next up, we have the two deluxe figures. These things are big boys. This is your Megazord, the standard Dino Megazord from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, as well as Cyclopsis. Now, we're gonna do the Megazord first because it's the easiest one. Since you have everything you need to make the Megazord happen in the base game, there's no need to add extra bits and pieces. This is just the figure, so if someone wanted this just to have and to paint or put on a desk, then it doesn't come with any extras. It's just the figure and the sword. Because, of course, you gotta have the sword. This is heavy. Oh, wow. Okay. Taped, of course. He is a big boy. This is hefty. It is ridiculously detailed down to individual bits and pieces here. You can slide that sword right into his hand. Yeah, it only goes in this hand for him to hold it. This is the original Megazord. I'd love to see like a Thunder Zord eventually, or any of the future Zords as well. I'd love to see maybe even the Hyperforce Zord. Put him back in here. Put the sword back as well. Cyclopsis, on the other hand, has special rules. So, if you plan to use Cyclopsis, it adds some new rules to the game. Let's get him back in here. Awesome. So, Cyclopsis actually comes with the figure, a deployment card, 6 Cyclopsis enemy cards, 6 Cyclopsis component cards, and a rule sheet. So, someone is basically playing this guy, trying to play against the main characters, whoever's playing in the game. This is just as heavy. Introduction. This box includes all the things I just said. Deploying Cyclopsis. He's basically like a Exodia of sorts. You gotta deploy individual bits and pieces of him, like his left arm and stuff. Component cards are what those are called. Battling Cyclopsis, so when the Ranger attacks Cyclopsis, and then they have to defeat all 6 components on top of it. So very cool. Let's take him out here. He has his cards here. I'm not gonna take his cards individually out. I'm just gonna keep that one easy. Just know that it's 6 components that make up Cyclopsis. Wow. This is heavy. I'm pretty sure this might be slightly lighter. It might be slightly lighter than Megazord with his sword in. But he's big. He's got his horn. This is like his final form in the show. I'm going to show that a little bit more. Yeah. Pretty awesome. He is great to put on any desk. Or on a shelf. Maybe paint him up. And give him that kind of battered steel look. We'll put his cards here. Next thing is the villain pack. So villain pack number 1 comes with some really cool villains that come out later in like season 2 and further. Rito, Repulso, Master Vile, Commander Crayfish, and Poluticorn. And it just adds the 2 monsters. So what's great about this is you end up getting 2 monsters. You get the 2 bosses, which is Rito, Repulso, and his father, Master Vile, which is also Rito Repulso's father. We're going to open it up and take a look at these guys, because they're awesome. It's really just the figurines and the cards here. Let's look at Rito. He's kind of a bonehead of sorts. He is a skeleton. He makes bad jokes. He uses a sword and a kind of mega buster of sorts. Commander Crayfish. He is just a giant crawfish. That's all he is. We got Poluticorn, which is the best villain ever. He's just a man with a unicorn head and wings. I feel like this is like the easiest cosplay to make nowadays because it's just the outfit and wings and one of those unicorn heads that you can buy on Amazon for like 20 bucks. So that'd be a fun one to cosplay sometime. And Master Vile. Master Vile, it scares Rita and Rito, so he must be really powerful. We will actually open these cards. Out of the monster cards, you got bosses, and it actually shows Rito and the individual creatures here. So, we're starting with Commander Crayfish. Claw Crusher. Crayfish Command. Deformed Power Sword. Shellfish Slasher. Shellfish Slasher. Ferocious Strength for Poluticorn. Prismatic Orbs. He is a unicorn. Toxic Tornado. Unicorn Blaster. Gravity Well for Master Vile. Hex Blast because he is the father of the witch. Hideous Power. Negation Wave. Warlock's Curse. He's a warlock. So Rito has Blade of Bones, Crushing Impact. Fun fact, that's actually him up against the Thunder Megazord. Crushing Impact, Flamethrower, Hideous Strength, Stumbling Fool, and then we got token cards for each of them. And finally, we have the giant mystery box. We, as a community, the Power Rangers community, crushed every single goal they threw at us to the point that they ran out. This is by far the heaviest box. I would say it's nearly as heavy as all the other boxes combined. There's just so much in here. Wow, that's a lot.